Uh-huh, uh-huh, yeah, 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 yeah. Uh-huh, uh-huh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh-huh, uh-huh, yeah, yeah.
You. Has anybody ever told you that you're fat? What has anybody told you? Did they tell you that you're ugly? Did they tell you that you're not good enough? Did they tell you you're not smart enough? Did they tell you you're weird?
This is what she said. I'm Caroline. I'm just here for the beer, really.
It's very sensual and seductive, and it's fun. You know, it's not just a song, but it's a story. You're putting together a costume, you're putting together an act, and throughout this whole thing, regardless of what the end result is, which we all know, you know, we're removing our clothes, but it's all the build-up in between. You know, it's all the fun. It's very empowering, you know, to be on stage, and, you know, like a really key signature move is you get your finger up in your, you know, strap right here, and you start to pull your strap down, and the audience starts to scream and scream and scream, and you pull it back up. So it's this very empowering thing of control that I can show them what I want when I want to. I can show them as much as I want to or as little as I want to, and I can put a fun story behind it. We did this really, really emotional show called Stripped Raw, where we touched on very, very heavy topics like drug and alcohol abuse, body shaming, sex shaming, and rape shaming. And we did this very heavy-hearted show. We had a trans awareness act and mental health act. It was an extremely heavy show, and at the end of it, people were crying, the whole audience was crying. We wanted to take everything a step further and reach out to people who go through real things and let them know that we go through those real things, you know. And this beautiful, beautiful girl walked up to me at the end of the show. I never remember her name or what, you know, anything like that. She walked up, she embraced me, she was crying, saying how, you know, she knew what it was like to feel disgusted with herself and feel grossed out about her body. And she said, "My favorite thing about your group is that you are the misfits standing up for all the misfits." And I feel like that's where we've all found a home, is that we've all kind of feel like at some point in our life we were misfits and we were awkward and we didn't fit in, and we've just kind of banded together to create this group of people that other people can relate to. You know, we're not unrealistic. They can relate to us and what we go through.
We are definitely the misfits. We're the kind of the weirdest of the weird. We don't fit in any category, and we are proud of that, and we embrace that so much.
Do I dance? Yes, I do. I am an amazing dancer. Thank you. I feel that Burlesque tease has a way of giving you, it's a tool. The tease is the tool to help really encourage women to be confident.
I've always known from a really young age that I wasn't your typical body size. I wasn't your everyday average girl. And I feel like that being that, like with that being said, that society kind of creates this image of where there's just, it's in your head, you can't do these things. You know, you can't dance and take your clothes off on stage because you don't have a nice tight, you know, rock hard body, or, you know, you can't take photos and model because you're not a size 0. And I feel like for me, just as a woman and as a person, I've always fought against that. And I wanted to be like, hey, I have stretch marks because I've had kids. Hey, my boobs kind of sag a little. Hey, my thighs jiggle and wiggle and not always in all the right places.
I love dancing. I can never stop dancing. Even when I'm at work, if there's music, I just start dancing. It's uncontrollable. I'm the trans dancer here. Yeah. I actually dance as male, so I tape down my chest with athletic KT tape, and then I put pasties on top. I was born female, and I'm transitioning into male.
Everybody has their own story, and everybody doesn't, and I'm not just talking about the group, I'm talking about in general the public, everybody. We always have that moment where we don't feel like we fit in, whether it's our weight, whether it's our ethnicity, whether it's our sexuality, whatever it is.
In my normal life, I'm just the weirdo, and I've become pretty comfortable with that, and burlesque has really helped me a lot with that, and this group has helped me a lot with that. It was never something I was willing to deny, but it wasn't necessarily something that it's not that I wasn't proud of who I was, but it can just be hard to deal sometimes with people making assumptions about you, this, that, and the next thing.
I was scared to tell my dad. I think it was more on the lines because I always grew up being his little girl, and I'm named after my grandmothers, that it would be heartbreaking for him because I'm changing my name.
Extremely important to me, you know, that wherever we're performing, they respect and believe in the message that we believe in. You know, my biggest fear in losing a venue is that, and you know, I would never want to say this in front of my girls, but is that the group would dissipate and kind of not be a group anymore. And the thing is we're more than just a performing group. We're this really tight-knit sisterhood, and a lot of the girls here have gone through a lot of really rough things in their life.
I've been bullied my entire life, and I thought I'd heard everything out of the book, but then when you start realizing that you're not a lesbian, you're trans, well, and then you gotta start that all over again, and you start hearing new things that you didn't hear growing up. And so it's hard to be the bigger person sometimes.
U.S. Supreme Court announced today that it will take up the issue of transgender rights for the first time.
Transgender woman is in the hospital after being shot in the face. It happened overnight in Walnut Hills. As Local 12's Curtis Jackson reports, it's raising fears within the transgender community.
Today was different than any other day because today I woke up actually fearing for my life and fearing for my rights to be able to legally change my name and live the way that I would love to live, to be comfortable.
We want to empower people to feel confident, because in this day and age, it's so skewed by the media and what we grow up on, even Disney movies. I'm a huge Disney fan, but we're still, you know, grown up to like little tiny people who get the Prince Charmings, you know what I mean? But in reality, there are normal humans with normal bodies who are out here everyday life, And so it's just really like empowering people. You know, confidence in this day right now is just, it's so low. It's so unbelievably low.
I'm always worried that someone's gonna yell from the audience that I'm fat, or they're gonna say something like that. Still to this day, 6 years later, that's my biggest fear. She sent me this message and she said that what I'm doing is shameful and disgusting, and I'm promoting obesity, and I'm promoting women to be fat, and you know, instead of encouraging people to be fit and healthy, I'm encouraging them to be fat and sloppy and nasty, and that she prays to God that I don't have children, especially little girls.
I would like to be a famous dancer like my mom because I think they're really cool.
I think of daddies at the playground, that's how I spend my days now.
It's really common for a man to be, you know, very, very vulgar, very disrespectful about a woman and her body, and, you know, very judgmental. But I feel like it's most heartbreaking when women are doing it to other women.
I'm gonna go for the legs. So one of the girls backstage, one of the wrestling girls, I was in the corner and they didn't see me. I was getting dressed and stuff, and I had walked over and walked back, so they saw me, and she said, fucking fat ass bitch, sideshow, glass walker, freak show, I don't give a fuck, is what she said. And she didn't know that I was there. She didn't know that I heard her. She was just being mean and catty like girls are. Girls are just mean, and it sucks. Actually, now I'm not even nervous anymore. I'm really not. These girls have changed my life. Every single one of them, like, oh, it makes me so emotional. They have changed my life. They have changed everything about me. And they've given me so much support and love. And if you guys can find a group of friends like that, and if you guys can find a family like that, do anything you can to keep them, because it's absolutely worth it.
I look in the mirror and I know who I see, but I don't know what other people see when they look at me. And anytime I've ever come in here, I've never felt that way.
The group is a big family. We would do anything for each other, and we have done a lot for each other, personally and in the group. And you know, you can't make it up, the type of connection that we all have. And even if this group wasn't Whiskey Sirens tomorrow, we would all still be that family. We started this group as a burlesque group, but it's evolved into something much greater, and that is to upgrade people and to allow people to be like, hey, I can do that too.
To all you beautiful ladies out there, maybe one's tuned in right now, maybe you're going through a hard time, maybe something's happening in your life or you're just not feeling too beautiful. Us as a group just want to let you know that you are absolutely stunning. You are all queens, and if nobody has told you that you are beautiful today, let me be the first to tell you, baby girl, you are so beautiful. And us here at the Singer Social Club, all of us Whiskey Sirens love you.